Hello and welcome to a special version of I Only Play. And in this one, I'm going to talk about a game that I've put a lot and is put a lot by the people I have as friends on PSN, and that is I Only Play Destiny. Stroke, I Only Play Destiny 2, given that 2 is now out. So, for those of you who don't know, Destiny and Destiny 2 is basically Space Marines fight evil monsters while in space in the galaxy far, far away. No, it's in our own galaxy. You visit multiple planets in the first one that are in our solar system. There's a making up one, the second one in Nessus. But by and large, there's over the two, the variations on enemies, not so much. It's basically variations on a theme. With them, there's the evil races are the Fallen, the Hive, the Cabal, and then later on there came the Taken, which are basically just palette swapped versions of the previous three. Oh yeah, and I forgot the Vex as well. So Taken are basically just palette swapped versions of the other races. But evil shadows. Repeat. So, is it worth just playing this game alone versus other games? Well, in the first one, there was not an awful lot of content unless you bought the expansion pass. And then there was other expansions came out, and they had some little events as well over Christmas and Valentine's Day. The game resets every week on a Tuesday. Don't know why they picked Tuesday, but there you go. So if you're watching this today, and today is the 17th of May, Thursday, we've already had our weekly reset. So what happens on the weekly reset then? Well, on the first game, your bounties, your weekly bounties reset. There's playlists of strikes. They changed their modifiers. Same with the Nightfall being a harder version of a strike with sort of you need higher level gear for them. On Destiny 2, your milestones, which replace the bounties, they reset. So, is it worth just playing this game? Or these two games, should I say? Is it worth it? Well, now the first one is out, completely out, in its final form, in the form of the collection. If you're just picking it up now, you can play it on its own for the 20 or so story hours, and then you've got the grind to the top level of 40 and the light level of 400. Light being what you have given to you by your armor. It's kind of attack and defense rolled together into one, really, and that goes up or down depending on what gear you've got, the strength of the gear. Light against, of course, darkness, which they seem to have written out in Destiny 2 and not really explained kind of in the Destiny universe too much what the darkness is. No, it's not the cheesy guitar band with the Hawkins brothers. It's an evil force as best as I can describe it. Really, and that's really kind of the crux of it. Think of it like a space opera. And that's kind of, one of my friends said to me that Star Trek was like EastEnders in space. You can reset a bit about Star Wars as well. It's just a soap opera in space, and that's kind of it. The story is thin. It's thin like a really watery soup of just water and water on top of that, with a few chunks of vegetables kind of just floating along. To expand it on it a bit, there are cutscenes. but cutscenes don't make of the story or a game. This is more kind of a vegetable broth of a story than just, well, water. The first one was nicknamed Vanilla Destiny, but 2 hasn't been given one a name yet. I'll call it, for me, I've always called it granola. Kind of the same, it's bland, but there's a little bit more substance to it. And really, by and large, there's a lot of recycling of weapons, armour, enemies, characters. It just seems that with Destiny, they take out some stuff from the previous, fiddle around with it, and then feed it back to you in the next one. So heaven help us all for the second game, and for the third game, and for the fourth game. Yes, there'll be probably 4 because of the deal that Bungie struck with Activision. Heaven help us all. I'm kind of hoping either they really super improve it or they ditch it and try something else. But I don't think that's likely, as long as it makes Activision money. Get back to the case in point in hand. Is it worth just playing these games and nothing else? If you've got friends that will play them and you're okay with repetition and grinding, solely for the grinding, there's a lot of it in the first game for getting items and for leveling up. 2, not so much. Once you hit the max light level, though, the game is kind of over, really. There's not really, unless there's a goal you have in mind. So for this one, I'll have to say, I'm on the fence. If you're on the fence on this one, or if I'm on the fence on this one also comes with a caveat. You can play it religiously on its own up to a point. And really maxing out your light level on Destiny 2 and Curse of Osiris wasn't particularly difficult. You could do it without doing the super difficult stuff. You could get quite close, a couple of nightfalls and you'll be there. I've not even gone near raid and I've hit max light level twice on all my characters. It is a time sink. The first one is a time sink. Grinding takes forever. 2, not so much, although they have maybe tried to bring that back with Warmind, the new DLC for 2. Really humming and hawing over this one. For me, you could just about get away with it, so it's just a reluctant thumbs up until you hit max light level, and where it becomes a massive thumbs down. Once you hit the maximum, there's hardly any point, really. There are things to collect, but if you've got all the exotic stuff, no. Or even if you don't have all the exotic stuff, the answer is a no. Once you've maxed out, there's not enough really to keep you coming back in this game. It's only about a year old. It lacks content. There's a lot of repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again. So you can get away with just about playing it until you max up your level, and then it's a massive thumbs down after that. It's just, I play it a lot by myself, and for me, playing solo, all day long it gets a thumbs down on this one. There are other games that are better for solo play. If you've got friends that play, for me, if there's any thumbs up, it's a tentative, and it's just bouncing over the fence. But when it comes down to it, in other aspects, it's a massive thumbs down. The game is lacking content. There's so little to do. You have to dip into your pocket for an expansion pass. Season pass in most games gives you the season of the game. The existence, the lifetime of the game is covered in your season pass. Here it's just an expansion pass. Then you have to shell out even more money for the other big expansions. Once that comes out, the content falls away. You run out of stuff to do, repeating strikes over and over and over again to try and get loot. Really, so overall, taking everything into consideration, it's a no. It's a thumbs down for me on this one. Playing this on its own in isolation, no. Thank you for watching. This has been a slightly longer version of these videos. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit the like button and hit subscribe. You know all the drill by now. And I will maybe come back to this series. I've done a few now. So if you like these and you can think of others to go in this section, then please put in the comments below and I will have a look at them and address them in a later video. And really, I don't know what other genres I could think of apart from action adventure. But if you'd like me to give my opinions on playing just solely one specific game, like I've done with Destiny, then please do say so in the comments. Cheers.